Good morning, it's Caillou here. Recently I have been reflecting, musing, contemplating, meditating on the circle, the sacred circle, the cyclical seasons, the rhythmic pulse that circles throughout all of life. In many of the ancient creation stories, there's often a tale about how the universe came to be. And in one of these tales, it is said that in the very beginning, all there was the deep, dark, primeval waters, the vast, expansive, primordial oceans that spanned forever and ever. Somehow, someday, an egg appeared, just birthed out of the void, and within that egg was the tiniest of beings. And this tiny little being, he slept and he slept and he slept. And as he slept, he dreamed. He dreamt of everything that could be dreamt of. And at one point in time, upon its awakening, the little being, he grew and he grew and he grew until a time came where he could no longer fit inside that egg. And at that moment, the sacred words that would bring all of the universe, everything into being, as soon as those words were uttered, the egg cracked. Everything flooding out into these deep, dark, primordial, oceanic waters. Everything that was ever dreamed, everything that was ever conceived, far and wide into the void. All the gods, the goddesses, the deities, the elements, the directions, all of the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and of course our earth with our mountains, our rivers, our feathered ones, our green ones, the thunders, the flyers, the swimmers, the dreamers, and of course all other creatures. And at the root, the heart of this ancient tale of how the universe came to be is the egg, the circle, the symbolic representation for the creative and fertile sacred forces that reside within all things. Circles, sacred circles, we find them everywhere. That knowing, that understanding of the sacred circle has been etched into the hive mind of consciousness since the beginning of time. You find them in mandalas, ancient cave art, stone circles, whether humble or grandiose, megalithic in size. We find the meaning of the sacred circle infused into the nomadic dwelling spaces of the Sami, the Mesoamerican Temazcal, the Native American teepee, geoglyphs, hieroglyphs, petroglyphs. We find it in the sacred drum as its concentric circles echo and ripple out to distant horizons. And of course, one of the ways in which the understanding, the wisdom of the sacred circle, one of the ways that has made its way into a shamanic tool, an ancient tool, a nature-based tool of connecting with the land, of many things. It's the medicine wheel, the sacred medicine wheel. Symbolically represents all the cycles, all the seasons, all forms can fit into the sacred medicine wheel. The directions, the elements, the cycles of life, totem animals, plant allies, seasonal changes, the solstices, the equinoxes, the life cycle of a platypus. Sacred circles, cyclical nature of life. And it's interesting because within the medicine wheel that represents the directions, east, north, west, south, below, earth, sky above, spirit, the heart, the core, the center, binding everything together. Despite the seemingly two-dimensional nature of a medicine wheel, we also have the up-down axis as well. And if we envision the spherical nature of the medicine wheel with its up and down axis also, enmeshed within this sacred symbology is the great world tree, the cosmic tree, the tree of life, the tree of knowledge, the three realms, the lower, the middle, the upper. Why the tree? Why not anything else to symbolize the cyclical nature of things? Well, if you've spent any amount of time sitting with the tree, you'll know that it represents these three components perfectly. The roots diving deep down into the underworld, the trunk symbolizing the middle, this terrestrial, which we walk around, and the branches and the leaves high up into the sky. the axis mundi, the center point. Deciduous trees, they take in the sunlight, convert that into energy through the process that we call photosynthesis, distributes that energy down the branches, down the trunks, so that the tree can grow. Meanwhile, it's taking up energy from the soil, the nutrients, sucking them in through its roots. And as the seasons pass and they come and go in their cyclical, seasonal nature, the leaves drop. The leaves drop down to the earth and they decompose, they decay, and then the roots take them back up. It's the regenerative, inherent regenerative nature of a tree. Anyhow, why am I rambling on with all of this? Well, this book found its way to me. Australia's Kakadu man, Bill Neidjie. And it's an old book. It's a phenomenal book. In 1986, this was produced, the year I was born. And most traditions, ancient traditions, stories, ways of knowing, passed on orally. Bill Neidjie is from up north, northern Australia, Kakadu, which we call Kakadu. And he wanted to pass on some of his knowledge of the land so it wasn't forgotten. So there was a way for the next generations to remember their roots, to remember our roots. There's one particular little poem in here that I'll read. Rock stays, earth stays. I die and put my bones in cave or earth. Soon, my bones become earth. All the same, my spirit has gone back to my country, my mother. Our story is in the land. It is written in those sacred places. And I love this. It's just so short, succinct, concise. You don't need fancy words and grandiose articulations to convey this very simple knowing that we are from the land, and when we die, we go back to the land. Our spirit goes back to the land. It's the inherent cyclical nature of all things. While I'm here, I'll read out one more poem. I like this one. It's quite fitting for the times that we're in. If I can just find the page that it's on. Here we go. White European can't say, oh, that Aborigine no good. Might be that Aborigine alright. Man can't growl at Aborigine. Aborigine can't growl at white European. Because both ways. Might be both good men. Might be both no good. You never know. So, you should understand yourself. No matter Aborigine or white European. Man can't growl at Aborigine. Aborigine can't growl at white European. Because both ways. Might be both good men. Might be both no good. You never know. So you should understand yourself, no matter Aborigine or white European. We should get to know ourselves. And there's nowhere better to get to know the truth of who we are than outside of the industrial technological complex that we've created, that we're constantly enmeshed in. Get back to our roots, back to the places, the natural places where our bones go, back to the earth after we die. Morning musings / ramblings down by the creek.